Hello friends, sorry for the delay. Thanks for joining. Hello Rick, good to see you. Anybody else watching, please say hi, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you like, and hit the bell if you want to get notified next time I'm online. Here we are again, back where we left it in Miami, and we are off to Mexico City across the Gulf. 3-hour normal scheduled flight, so it should take us a bit under 2. Obviously we don't make as much of a headway over the subsonic stuff for the shorter legs, but a relatively short flight. After yesterday's turbulence-related disaster, I did some digging, and it was indeed Active Sky that does that. So I don't know what I'll do if I do it. If it does it again, I've turned the turbulence down to about 20% because I think it's still worth having a little bit. But the 70% it was set to was clearly not suitable for this aeroplane. And if it does get that bad, I suppose I can just kill it and see if we can get X-plane weather back on. Anyway, without further ado, let's get a wiggle on and get going. There's a few other jets here. There's another 6 on the ground here. We're going to go runway 09er again. Runway 9er. And I've updated the texture so it should all be nice and US. We've got about 1,500 miles to cover. With a little bit more on top actually because of the circuit on arrival, so we're going to come right overhead the airfield and then do the arrival via the overhead, which is a procedure, but everything else I think was on now, so it's getting more and more difficult to find conventional stuff, a bit like the departures from here, which are vector based. Anyway, we've got a few waypoints to sort out and some payload and stuff. Here we are on the ground. There we go. Yep, there is some other traffic. I haven't got everything, not all the fuel trucks were working, but whatever. We're quite close to the gate in front, just piercing it with the pitot. Got the stairs out and let's hop in. A little bit of a stain, I hope that's not from us. So here we are, cold and dark. Checklist up. Safety, do we need to do any of those? Don't think so, to be honest. Just to stop fuel moving, etc. whilst you're loading and everything else. So let's just run through the prelims. Tech log, nope. Ground power, well, it should be on. And I think that's the ground power switch, but of course it's not modelled. Or is it? Yeah, I mean, why would it be on trip? Yeah. So, the batteries can come on. And you can see all the instruments doing a self-test, which is quite cool. Equipment cooling. There's got to be a much better way to do this flow, there really has. There we go, equipment cooling. Look at all those switches, yeah, right, there's loads, and that's why, you know, it was a 3-person bit of kit. I'm going to leave the standby off. Now that says normal, not left hand. And I'm going to go on for those rather than auto. Although that's probably wrong. Oxygen panel, we're not going to check. Drain mast heaters are up here, and they can all come on. Oh, I haven't got that mapped. Oh, look, it's doing it again. Ah, I know why. You all know why. Let's disable some plugins. So we need to get rid of head shake. And we need to get rid of X-res. Just because it shouts about flaps. There we go. Drain mast heaters are on. You can check those. INS, so they are down here. we will get these on standby first, then we'll do SIVA. Air data computers can come on. Emergency equipment, nothing to check. And the cabin lights can come on. So, before start, I have a feeling we would be doing everything we needed. See, I don't think the waypoint coordinate. Okay, well, I think check all is going to be have checked. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll start rolling that up in a moment. We're going to try for a noise abatement today. Nobody online, nobody to talk to. Let's get down here, let's get the armrest up. 2000 sets. Let's get the lights on. Go. Did that make much of a difference? Oh, hello. Don't need those, don't need the floods. So, what we can do is pop in our current position from the chart, because that's the only way to do it, unless you've got it listed on stand. And so, if you guys want to get up the chart, I say guys, it might just be you, Rick, if you want to get the chart up and have a look. No, we've got 3 people watching, so come on guys, say hello. It's good to have you along for the ride. Hopefully it'll be less dramatic than last time. I've got parking bay coordinates, page 10-9 Charlie. We are at stand Foxtrot 17, and so as you can see here, we're not in nav mode. We can put our current position in, do that on the keyboard again, and Foxtrot 17 is north 25 476, enter 4 for west 080 170. There we go, that is our current position. So with that done, let's load the aeroplane up and then we'll start aligning everything. So we've got to do payload and fuel, which is on this page. Flight prep, payload manager, here we go. So I think I've put down 77, so we'll go for 75. Cargo 1155. Let's go a little bit heavier. Actually, 6950. The pax weights really are not up here. 7623. It's not bad, but I think this could be improved. I don't know what's so special about plus 12 and minus 12. I really don't. 50 on the kgs I could understand, but it would just be much better if you could just type it all in. So I think we got 76. So let's go something like that, and hopefully that'll be enough. Fuel manager. So we need 48154. So I want 50. So having this is really, in my mind, not particularly helpful. 60 tons, 1829. That's 10 tons too much. Supersonic, how far are we going supersonic? 100, 200, not that far. So let's bring the fuel back to 48 and see how we get on. Right, so we'll do that. 48154. No, hang on. 48209, and I do have 1500 for taxi and an extra 2 tons on top there, so going to be interesting. Anyway, payload is set to what I think we need. Apply that. The airplane's moved a little bit. Now we can start everything aligning. Good. They are working. See that come down as we go on. Howdy Entity, good to see you again. The airport and the parking. Still no one online. So what we can do is pop the route in. Again, I've got this from Concorde Performance, which not convinced. There's definitely discrepancies between the two. Anyway, KMIA is our 0 point. We're off to WINCO. That's waypoint 1. Let's go for keyboard entry. So waypoint 1 is north 26250 west 80583. So are we not on ground power? Shall I try this again? Flight prep, aircraft. Oh great, there we go, because it moved, I guess. That was useful. Just going to leave it like that. Don't need to faff about too much. Again, it'd be nice if these were integrated a bit more. Is there any way I can? So I don't think that is modelled. Okay, right, I don't like doing that. But we need AC power, so just gonna have to suck it up. It's a bit odd. So maybe I shouldn't go through the cold and dark, maybe we should just crack on and let the virtual flight engineer do it. Anyway, waypoint 1 we have programmed. Waypoint 2, keyboard entry again, is 2 for north, 26318, west 81465. 3 is north 25578, west 83305. North 25432, west 84273, north 25205, west 85207. Waypoint 6, north 24300, west 88124. 7 is 21495, west 93435. 8 north 21011, west 95168. 2.9 north 20360, west 97273. Let's go through those backwards. 20360, 97273, 21011, 95168, 21495, we have all the paper as well, 93435. This is me checking. So this time I'm looking at this, then at the paper, 24300, 88124, 25205, 5207. 25432. 84273. Waypoint 3 is 25578. 83305. 05. 26318. 26318. Well, 465. 2625. 80583. Good, checked. Happy. Then that will get us to waypoint 9, which is the PAS VOR. And then we got a few more VORs. But effectively, NUBEL waypoint 8 is where we should be subsonic. It's about 150 miles before there we're going to start our decel. And because the elevations are quite high in Mexico, we're going to go straight in. One of the arrivals, the MSAs to the southeast are 19.4, to the west 14.8, to the north 12.1, so very high. The airport elevation is 7316, so that could be interesting in itself. So let's get rid of the keyboard entry, come around here, there we go. Look, you see that decreasing, and the green light is it doesn't look as, it looks more on than that battery warning light. Is that on? No, it can't be. Anyway, they should, no, they're still aligning, so it's a bit different. Radios, let's have a look, still no one online. So, get on tune. Interesting, it doesn't remember those. Switch to, I think that was tower yesterday, wasn't it? Departure wise, let's have a look at the departure. I think we're going to be going off 09er, runway 9er, which is 092. Go. That's the runway heading. Now, the Dolphin VOR is going to be our reference. 39. And the radio we want is 322. Excellent. So let's have a look at the departure data. V-noise 87 seconds. Leader 2 looks to be just under 13. Ish.
Miami traffic, American 1102 is taxiing out at a spot time for runway 8 right via November.
Avons minus 1.5. Which makes me think that's a forward movement. Yes. About there. Those are set. Noise abatement N2 92.8 after 87 seconds. Again, I still think this is relatively overpowered because it rockets through everything, more so than you'd expect. So, anyway, there's the INS aligned. So, let's get those all on nav. And this one, there we go. Distance time to waypoint. And that's set and ready to go. So we're going to have to go VOR first, and then once we're established on that radio, we'll go present position to the waypoint, just because Miami is slightly offset from the VOR, so we won't track that way otherwise. Although I think it is a vector departure, so it doesn't matter too much. Climb assigned heading for radar vectors to assigned transition. Climb and maintain 5,000 or assigned lower altitude, expect filed 10 minutes after departure. We are going to bust through 5 pretty quick. So maybe we'll just get the afterburners off at 500 feet if we can, although the airplane is relatively twitchy on the climb. So, see that we're set there. CBs, I think they're all checked. They're all, I'm sure these are all meant to be CBs. Could be wrong. Very difficult to see. Cockpit prep, yes, we are done. Oxygen, not going to check. DV windows, shut. Flight controls. So that's, no. There we go. Inverters on. Lots of things to set. Anti-stall on. Rad INS. Both sets are rad. Instrument on my side. Altimeters, let's get the latest weather. 11013 knots, 10 miles, scattered 2,800, broken 32, broken 25,000, temperature 30, dew point 23, 29905. Look, 29905 is set. Put these on. 2995. P. Audio panel. We are on COM 1. Nav radio set for departure. Brakes. Pressure checked and park. Nav lights can come on. Throttle masters. Checked. And set to main. Ground hydraulic, check out yellow, yellow. Yes. Yellow, yellow, off. Fuel heaters. Auto. Engine reset valves all shut. Secondary air doors. Take off with reheat to auto. Batteries. Well, I think they're on. The electrical system is interesting to say the least. INS we have done and we have checked. I've not done the DME. Confirm ready for nav, we have done ready nav and the lights off and the INSs are loaded. ASI bugs. So what's that, a V1 of about 164? Oh, interesting. So maybe that's why we're busting through it, because the sheets that I've got here, 175, so this is a little bit low. .168. Now it says actual takeoff was less than planned. -36. Which comes back to like 132, which I don't believe. The rotate of 139. We've got an actual takeoff weight here listed of 134,294. Oh no, so that is right. That is right. So when Colimata says that these are, can I set them? I know you can set them clicking on them, but I actually want to change them. Set the reminder to 250. I guess you can't change those. Something I need to do some reading on. I mean, that's right, but like I say, V2181 on here. V noise 250, I've got that V240 221. Okay, like I say, the differences are a bit weird. Fuel flow bugs, I'm not going to set clock. 1843, we're going to be pushing a little bit late, aren't we? Throttle lever indices. So that was set to 20.1. So you would set this here to about there. That's where we're going to bring them back for noise, but I'm going to use the 2 because that's easier. The flight engineer would do it in reality. Briefing. Well, like we say, it's going to be a straight ahead takeoff and then a turn probably to the north. Initially, maybe northwest 330, and then we'll intercept the Dolphin VOR to a WINCO off to the County RSW, which I think is a TACAN, but you've got that in the INS, so it doesn't matter. Load sheet, not to check. I am not confident about the fuel and the weights. Limits, no. Takeoff data, well, I've checked it. Start clearance. Let's announce where we are. Miami traffic, Speedbird Concorde 613, heavy stand, Foxtrot 17, engine start. Miami traffic. Cool, so obtained door lights. Right, well, let's get the doors shut because the lights don't actually tell us anything. Lost a warning, let's do that test. Checked, that does the stall warnings as well. Anti-collision lights. On. Throttles are idle. Engine feed pumps, these can all go on. All 12 of them. A lot of fuel pumps. Well, the 73's got 6. What else? Idle engine feed pumps, and we would confirm with the guys on the ground clearance to start. We've still got the power and the AC connected. Can't hear that. So, let's imagine that ground have given us that. We do have a bleed air source. So, let's get back over here just so we can see a bit more. Cross bleed 3 and 4 open, 1 and 2 open. Engine 3 bleed air valve open. Engine debo is going to be all on normal. Start valve open. Light on. Looking for 12%. Fuel on. Engine 3 first, of course. I think you guys can just about hear that in the background. So because there's nobody online, I think we will go to 2.8 just in a straight climb. So lights out. We've checked it's come on and gone off. 2 has gone past 30. We're waiting for 67. And then we disconnect the air. I think that would be better split with engine 3 start and then subsequent starts. But that's just me. Maybe I need to make one of these up. Kind of getting the hang of it. There's 67, so there's a stable engine. 1100 on the fuel. So, inform ground. Aircraft. Everything disconnected. Condition valve, engine 3 on. Hydraulic pumps, engine 3 on. Electric generator, I've already put those on because of the issues we were having. Engine bleed air. Shut. Cross bleed, shut. Start again. So engine number 2, bleed open. Start valve down here to start. Lights on. 12% fuel on. Good question, where is the start valve? It says start valve moving. I don't know. What I might do is the rest of the checks while we're on stand or while we're pushing. Looks alright to me.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
There we go, 67. Sorry guys, should have done this, but...
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
I assume it's going to save us some fuel by not starting up. And I think all the before pushback. So you do that and then you do the other two engines, so yeah, I think that can be done. I think we can do this before taxi, and then the taxi checks. Maybe I'll do these on the stand once we've pushed as well. Getting the hang of it yet, Rick? I'm only just.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Oh, I suppose we don't need those. Yeah. We do need is the push.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
So let's just have a look at the chart. Where are we? On Foxtrot. So it's going to be spot 1818. MIA traffic speed by Concorde 613. Heavy pushing back stand Foxtrot 17 to push and hold spot 18 Miami traffic. Brake off.
Starting pushback.
Oh, I see what I've done is the rest of the checks, have I? Condition valve can come on. Hydraulic pumps for 2 can come on. Gens on. Bleed air valve. Engine bleed air valve shut. Cross bleed shut. Open 4. Start 4. Light. N2's registering 12% fuel on. Lights out. Engine's still picking up. There we go, that's a nice stable engine. End up stopping in a moment. So engines started, condition valve comes on. Pump 4, there we go, both of those come on. Engine's already on.
Operation
valve
complete. Go
off.
ahead and set the parking brake.
Set crossbleed off and start
Disconnecting
engine
tail.
number 1.
Stand by.
Air valve. Start 1 and 2 starting up. Engine number 1 lights on. Oh, didn't quite get it there, 12%. Good if you could taxi out on 2. That'd be an idea, wouldn't it? Halve the fuel. Big difference when you're burning 4 tons of fuel an hour.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Where we will in this machine, 67 we have. So the condition valve comes on. Hydraulic pumps for 1 come on. Jet's already on. Bleed air valve off. Cross bleed shut. So emergency hydraulic gen ground bypass. Of course that's nowhere sensible, is it? Or was it? It's an electric one. There it is. So, no, emergency hydraulic ground bypass. It is that one. I don't know why you can't just flick that down. It's to stop it going up anyway. Electrical SSB closed. Shed galleys. Water heater on. Taxi lights, ground clear. So, taxis are this way. We'd actually do that before we were cleared, I think. We can get the nose visor set to 5. We check the flight control deflection. And that's interesting, that's full deflection. I think that should go further. I could be wrong. Maybe that's why it's a bit sluggish, but that's full forward. It's full aft. My brake released. Let's do the before taxi check. 1, 2, 3, 4 running. Duh. Flight controls checked. Master warning panel checked. Engine anti-ice is off. Engine control schedule is over here, which needs to go to flyover. Probably needs to go to approach, doesn't it? On approach. Brake fans come on. Engine idle switch low. Stall warnings were already checked. Engine feed pumps are all on. Hydraulics checked. Why are we doing ground checked again? Oh, electrics checked. Ground equipment clear. I'm sure we already did that, didn't we? Ground bypass. Nose 5 degrees. Again, that was on the other one. Brakes checked in a minute. Flight instruments will check, but we have got no flags, so we should check the others. We're on blue for everything. No lights. Trims checked and set. That hasn't moved. 1.5, give or take. So we'll set the CG before we get there. Engine rating mode. Right, this is where we want takeoff. We want the engine auto ignition, which is those, but I'm going to do it this way. So this is more of a flow that way, that way. Throttle masters all on main. Drain mast heaters on. Engine flight rating climb. Pressure static heaters on. I'm sure we should have tested those, but they will need to go on. Engine number 4 limiter is 88%. That's just the vortices. You'll see that the N2 will be different for engine 4 on takeoff. The conditioning panel looks fine to me. There's not a lot to be said for checking there. You don't have to set a cabin out or anything. Fuel panel, I have no idea how to set and check it, so great. Anti-skid system is over here, and there's no lights. Reverser shut off. I think that's just checking that no lights are on. Throttle, mid-travel forward. Seats harnesses checked. Tank 11, that's the engineer's job for balancing, so that will be done automatically, and then doing the D-air on these. I'm sure there was another one, or am I being dense? Go over here and have a better look. Pumps, D-air, nothing on the jettisons. Of course you can jettison in this. Pump, pump, pump. I think there's only 2 to D-air there. 7. 11 and 10. CG will sort out, and then main transfer pumps 5 and 7. Pretty sure you want to guard that. 5 and 7 are on. Great, so let's go. That saves some hassle, doesn't it? So where are we off to? We're 1-8, probably going to go along uniform. I don't know how they do it. Okay, we're going to have to go Sierra. Miami traffic, speedboat Concorde 613 heavy, taxiing spot 1-8 via uniform, cross 1-2 and Sierra to holding point Sierra 1, runway 9er. Miami traffic. Cool, so still nothing else online. Break off. No config to check. So 1-8 uniform cross Sierra. Lots of traffic. Vehicular traffic anyway. That's a slightly better view for taxi. Miami traffic, speedboat Concorde 613 crossing runway 12 at uniform Miami traffic. Oh, I'll tell you what, there we go, because we're not getting radio or anything, not getting into bad habits, we should have had the transponder at least on. So we're going to go straight ahead to Sierra. Oh no, first right is Sierra. Pretty difficult to see, the signposting is... The signposting I think would be better in reality, it's fair to say, so this should be Sierra. We're going to follow this all the way along. Only because the other one, Tango, ends. Runway 12 vacated, speedboat Concorde 613, Miami traffic. Wrong way round. Always berating other people for doing that. Should know better. Got to get a good RT in. So off we go down to the end. It should be set to a 139. We want to set both the same. Okay, Okay, there we go. Distance time 0 to 1. So a bit of a long old taxi. Of course, you know, 3 of you to do all those checks, so you could get the show on the road. Landing lights, transponder, brake tabs, just a warning. Inhibit. Do you inhibit? I wonder. Set the MCP, which is what that's for. Takeoff monitor reheats. We're on anyway, otherwise the CTY would be illuminated here. Radar doesn't work, so not a lot to do there. Huge amount of fuel. Maybe we should try some 2-engine taxi. I wonder if they ever did. I bet they didn't. I don't think they really cared. But a long taxi like this. Nose. So we're going all the way down. We might as well go to Sierra 1 rather than Sierra 2. Not that it matters. Now takeoff distance required. Doesn't tell me. That's a bit useless. Those are very high. Take off weights. Get back on the center line. Take off run available, accelerate, stop distance available, win, and you guys aren't doing a very good job at taxiing for me. Better co-pilot. Trims. Being pretty dense, I literally cannot find. There's a whole grid of them. Like tyres, brakes, dry runway. Anyway, here we are coming up to the end. We'll hold, get ready, then we'll get going. See how much I can arm on the ground, because the answer is a huge amount. End. Interesting bit of roadway there. So correct runway. Runway 9er. Parking brake is set. So takeoff data, well, we've got tons of runway. Landing lights would be done when we are cleared, so just get them on anyway. Transponder. The brake temps. Is that the brake temps? Yes. Correct to be. Master warning is cleared. Autopilot set, takeoff monitor I'll put once we're on the runway. Reheat switches are fine, pitch index is set. Takeoff clearance, we are going to self-announce. Miami traffic, Speedbird Concorde 613. Lining up, taking off, runway 9er, Miami 6 departure. The WINCO transition, Miami traffic. Nothing on approach. Gonna check VATSIM radar. Nobody else appears to have lined up. Didn't hear anyone else saying that they've departed or anything else. So we are doing noise abatement even though we're going straight out over the ocean. We'll do runway heading for a while, get the airplane settled down, and do our turn. And maybe we'll go to something like 300. See how we get on with that. So I can arm the flight directors. To 28. Can't arm that on the ground. Go. So that was a bit of a better lineup, wasn't it? I'm only going to set the parking brake just to make it easy. Again, like I say, you wouldn't do it in reality. Never put the parking brake on an active runway. So I'm going to arm track heading so that once we click that on, we're going to go. I'm going to arm pitch hold. I'm going to arm outer choir. And I think we are now therefore good to go. So brakes off. It is 1910. Brakes off.
3, 2, 1, now.
Throttles all the way forward, and off we go. Miami traffic, Speedbird Concorde 613, taking off runway 9er.
Airspeed building. 100 knots. Power set. V1. Rotate. V2. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear coming up.
Actually, that's feeling a bit better, but
250 knots.
need to be doing 250. So, pilot on.
Gear up. Doors locked.
Right, let's go pitch because that is not holding it.
Mach overspeed. Overspeed warning.
Uh,
Throttle back or climb.
let's go.
350 knots. Overspeed. Mach overspeed warning.
Get it.
Throttle back.
Why? That's as high as we can go. I'm gonna have to cut the afterburners.
1 noise. 3,000 feet.
That's ridiculous. Something is, I would say, spectacularly wrong. It was about 82%, wasn't it? For the noise abatement. 92.8, no, so even more than this. Right, so there's 92 for noise. Like I say, something is pretty wrong. Let's get the airplane turning on track. .92.
Wrong fuel trim. Should I change it?
Oh, okay, that may have explained it. That's my bad. Because we're still set to ground.
Fuel trim to fight.
So I'm not quite sure that works that willing. IS hold is not working well in the climb. I don't want the constant power setting. Anyway, that was all a bit of a mess, wasn't it? Anyway, gears up, nose is up. I know we need those on. So I think I can do this off the joystick, which is probably a bit better. Still in pitch hold. Ooh. Anyway, there's 10,000, so let's get the airplane up to try 380. Let's come left a little bit more to set that VOR.
10,000 feet.
I'll get the hang of this one day. So it's a little bit sluggish. E. 400 knots.
Overspeed warning.
And look at the
Throttle back
pitch.
on climb.
Don't want to throttle back, we want a full power climb. About 380. Jackson's online, we're not going to be able to speak to them for a while.
Feet.
So we are going to out acquire at some point. And we are going to want a Mach hold .95. So I think we'll go vertical speed. .390. Looks like a good IS. So not bad, intercept 22 degrees. Anything else? So after takeoff, we're not even on 2992. Let's focus on flying the airplane. Once we get back in the 7.3, it's going to be so much easier. There we go. So let's see if we can get Vorlock. No, I don't like to turn them. Okay. It's sort of got there. We are on Vorlock. Do direct 2 in a moment. That's actually not a bad turn. Quite like that. It's 50 miles to WINCO, so we're halfway along the leg, which is, I suppose, not a bad intercept. What's it look like on the map? Yeah, that's alright, no? It's sort of what I was expecting, and WINCO should be up here. There it is. Okay, not the best intercept. So we are going to go now. That should mean that once we switch to INS now, pretty much on target. And that wasn't far off, was it? The next thing is going to be our acceleration, which is going to be 108.6. Can we really be... I wonder if that's a bug. 108.6 and radial 319. It's going to be our acceleration point. Ah, it's not going to show, is it? So I have to use the old RMI. Brace your ears. So Jackson's online, we're not going to be speaking to them. Orlando is open. Frame rate's still good. Lights, fuel trim. I should probably assign that to a key. Take off monitor, yeah, set. Climb rate, well we've done all that. Reheat switches are already off. Pitch done. Trim is on flight. So it's overhead at 19. Oh, those should have come off. This is proper amateur, isn't it? Now, was that on any of the... I don't think that was on any of those. I think even the brake fans can come off. So 44 miles from WINCO to RSW. Do I have RSW? County 1118. That's good for the DME. 36. 35. Close enough. Bit of slant range. And I think they turned those off because the acceleration is not horrific. Hold. So you can set 600. Nice bit of ortho there. Well done, Fort Boy. Brace your ears again. Let's have a look outside. I think that noise is probably accurate. So let's have a look for the pitch. Something about that, isn't it? To start off with, might be about as high as 7 initially. I think Tampa's online. Yeah, it's going to be quiet for us, which is good because I'm pretty maxed out anyway. That wasn't a bad turn. Maybe we're so slightly off. Shouldn't have been, but RSW, and then you can see there's the radial that I've picked because I think once we get to there, all of the boom is going to go forward. So once that's the radial that we're going to cross. Once we get there, off we go, accelerate away. It's just not going to be long. Is there anyone around? Nope. Three inbound. Oh, the other guy's like down in Quito. He's not going to catch us up. Somebody departing from Miami as well. Well, we're definitely going to be going quicker than he is. The 738, he's in Zibo. 4 miles. Go 102. Start the left turn. Off to SHAQQ. Overhead 23. 100 miles, so about 25 on here as we cross that radial. Hey, that's pretty cool. Good bit of ortho. Don't know if there's any airfields down there. Yeah, of course there is. Let's go view external tower. Yeah, with a bit of zoom you could probably just about make it out. Bye-bye Florida. That is really good ortho. I personally don't think FS 2020, the ortho at altitude is that good. You don't get that sort of level of resolution. But it could just be me, my system. Anyway, we should start getting ready to accelerate. We're going to go full power. Reheats are going to come on. Climb rate, speed and pitch. It just doesn't help, does it? And you can see 319, so if we zoom in here, there's the radial. Once that gets to about 75, the 100-mile leg, isn't it? The SHAQQ, yep. So like I said, 25 miles off the coast. You can see this coming around. And once that gets to 319, so the tail just on there, about 20 odd miles, and we should just be crossing that airway. Yes, there we are. We can start our climb. So,
Auto throttle off.
Go Mac holding us at 350 for descent. I'm going to go pitch hold. Full power. And we are going to go 1,
Mach 1 pass.
2,
Mach
overspeed warning orange zone. Just a bit too keen. We are climbing. It's a little bit slow on the pitch index there.
Fuel status 40 tons.
A little bit unrealistic. But what do I know? There we go. Now look how fast that's going. Try and follow that as close as we can. Gonna go max. No, not max cruise, I want max climb. So still not quite following it. I tried. Rate of acceleration and the rate of climb.
Mach 1.3. Ramps moving confirmed.
Okay, Scotty, ramps moved. So we should be following MMO a lot closer. I'm sure I've said it before, that's what that notch in the needle's for. There we go, so that's catching up. So like I said, maybe 7 initially, down to about 4.
40,000 feet.
There you go, that's following it a little bit better. So max climb is doing its thing. 7 is quite high.
I suggest reheat off.
Super cruise we are. Don't know how accurate that boom is, like time-wise. So we will be off to SHAQQ, joining Yankee 240, which is the airway Yen to SNAKR, crossing the FIR boundary into Houston Oceanic, onto ERDOV, which gets us into the Merida FIR. Then there is an airway which we're sort of following, but we're going direct to COFRE, crossing into Mexico just before NUBEL. NUBEL is where we want to be slowed down and decelerated, so about 150 miles from NUBEL, which means about 50 miles to COFRE. So max climb, we've got 60, out quieter should be set just so we don't go over it. 50,000, almost Mach 2, a little bit inefficient, 4 minutes.
Feet.
4 minutes of reheat and a minute on takeoff of unnecessary reheat, or at least overpowered reheat. There we go, approaching Mach 2.
Passing Mach 2.
No max cruise. What's going on there? Oh, that's us overhead SHAQQ, 1931. So I'm just updating ETAs. So I think we got 31, 34, 37. Plus 8 takes us to 45. Plus 18 takes us to 20, 0, 3. We're going to waypoint 4, which I've got scribbled down on my sheet. And then we'll be decelerating, so that's about as far ahead as I can plan, so probably only half an hour supersonic. That's us overhead at 3-4. And if you have a look on the map, that is Yen, still along the airway, following the airway to here. Look at that bank angle. What should that be heading wise? 244, 4 to 5. So we can put a few more waypoints in. We only needed 2 more VORs because PAS is number 9, waypoint 1 is APN, and then the Mexico VOR. Although, no, I don't have the codes, so I can't put the arrival in. Should be done on radio aids. Because it's busy, we'll probably be switching between the two. Sort of estimating with heading. Anyway, waypoints, I'm going to change these in a moment because I think, yeah, they're like 8 minutes in between. So we're pretty much going to cross the Gulf of Mexico in about half an hour, 45 minutes, which is pretty impressive. Like I said, this would be at least a 3-hour flight normally, so okay, we're only making up an hour just because it's a short leg. Go overhead 3-6. Is it going to be 3-7? Is that just, yeah, look, bingo. So I had 3-7. It's then 252. 10 degrees. Big old bank angle to achieve it. And then we got 8.5 minutes to do 164 miles. Yeah, well, we've done a couple since then. So let's get these plumbed in. So waypoint 1 I am changing to north 19382. Enter. West 239. Waypoint 2, and that is the APN VOR. This is the Mexico VOR 19263 and west 99041. The other one is just destination, which I'm not going to bother putting in. And depending on the runway in use, like I say, there's If these had lat longs, we could put them in, but on these charts, they don't. Which would be really useful. So I'm not sure if we could look them up in a waypoint directory. You could certainly calculate them. Keyboard mode is off. There we go, because we are relatively light, we're going pretty much straight up to 600. Two one, static ISA. So, METAR, nil wind, 8 miles, broken 20,000, temperature 21, -5, 3029, no SIG, box of haze. So any runway really. Let's have a look at the airport layout on the charts. Both runways are, one's just shy of 13,000 feet, the other's just over. So we'd prefer 05 right, 23 left. No idea what terminal we'd use. Terminal 1, Terminal 1 Customs. And we'll go to Terminal 2 and just hang a left. Cross the runway then. So if it really is nil wind, feed through. Time on those 4.5 minutes. There's no text info, to be honest. Airport info continued. Hotspots. Departure references, radar minimum outs, but pretty much it. So 23 left. 05 right, they've got ILSs on all of them. Two different ones based on the missed approach. Oh no, I see the difference. So it's the initial Santa Lucia VOR, which is what we will do. What I could do is check online and see. Let's have a look on Flight Radar. The VATSIM cheat. Oh, weird. Looks like they've had departures going both ways. Maybe they are using K05. Looks like they're in use. Okay, so 05 it's going to be, seeing as that seems to be their preference. Gives us San Mateo and then inbound, so we're going to go right overhead. We are going to then do the Mexico 5 Alpha arrival, which takes us out round, be overhead Mexico VR at flight level 240, descend at 220. That's a little bit slow, so we are going to have to do a bit quicker than that. Respecting the MSAs, we're going to drop down, intercept the PTJ, so I'm going to need 1159 on here. Left turn 244, 1145. Then the San Mateo 1121. S for 05 right. 053 on 1091, so that's going to be pretty busy. Boy, it's going to be another disaster, but for a very different reason. My lack of radio navigability, but obviously we're going to have to switch between these two, which I suppose I don't think you would. I think you'd just change them, so you'd go heading hold, change, or lock, or the FO would change them over for you. So that's us overhead 45, like I predicted. Distance time does work. And then COFRE minus 50, 8.7. So you want 150 prior to NUBEL. COFRE is 100 miles from NUBEL, so 8.7 with 50 to go. So in 300 miles we're going to be descending. And you can see, there we go, we've joined the airway. So we will out capture.
feet, maximum flight level.
Back hold, otherwise we'll start to overspeed. I don't think it should do that. I think max cruise is based on temperature, so you could leave it at max cruise. I have turned max hold on. So that should, it's reducing. So nobody online. 5 Alpha, 05 right. And we'll stop as quick as we can. Vacate into the terminal. Maybe we'll go left, terminal 1. I don't know if any of you guys could look up and see which one would be international or where BA would normally go. I'd be just appreciative. So we're going to get to the Mexico VOR on INS. Then we're going to be outbound. 21. (244) or 45. I think we can switch between the two. Oh, that's another right VOR that we're picking up, but never mind. So I don't think any of that happens. we will throttle back. I think it's to 97%. We'll try 350 this time. Online, let's just take one last check. Oh yeah, we're halfway across now. So all of that decel can set to 8. Although I think it might be more like 300 or 3.2 because we're quite light for arrival, though. Got a lot of fuel. 5 tons will easily burn that. You can prep that for the descent. Not sure if the temperature is modelled. And that was the limiting factor at this speed, was temperature for the aluminium, the heating cycles. So we're going to have a 240 overhead Mexico, VOR down to 18, and San Mateo at 12, followed by outbound, descending to not below 97 till almost 10 DME, go down to 8.8. That's going to be our intercept. 284 on the ILS. So we'll go 290. And if you're not looking at the radar, you can see there we are. This doesn't zoom out far enough to show where we really are. Which is zipping across. Is Air Mexico 737 coming out of Miami? He's going to be en route time of 3 hours. We took off at 19:10, 42 minutes ago, so you're definitely not going to be that long. Even with some faffing overhead, and we're about halfway, half the distance. 42 minutes, so call it an hour and a half versus a 3-hour trip. So 160, couple of minutes, we'll start our descent. 2/3 of that, about 5.5 minutes. .243 is what we're on at the moment. Just update that. That is true, so it should match up. Okay, so it looks like they are landing on 05 right, departing 05 left, which is good. Oh, okay, international is terminal 1, so we will be vacating to the left. Thanks for your help there, guys. Don't worry, I found it out myself. I haven't got enough to do flying this particular rocket ship, and this is the easy bit. The cruise is the chill out part. Yeah, thanks mate. Otherwise it would have been parking Concorde with pushing over all the little 737s sat there. I wish you get one of these next to Zebo on the ramp. I don't think I can do that. See what the difference in size is. We know what the difference in weight is. Don't forget it is all in kilos, so you know, 180 tons. Big old difference. 737's a little dinky. Size-wise, it's not massive in comparison, but you know, it's still a nifty-old, still a larger aeroplane. Get that size, a bit of perspective, don't you? See if you can figure it out from outside. Oh no, too quick. Be nice to be overtaking. Although you wouldn't get a 7.3 up this high, and you wouldn't get this doing Mach 2 down at 30,000 feet. So you can't just nip past, get them in the same shot. Or you could try. I'd have to learn to fly it properly first. Do remember before 11.5, actually before I reinstalled this earlier in the betas, it did seem to handle a lot better, and I don't think I've done anything wrong, so maybe I'll reinstall this at some point. It does seem very sluggish. On the next turn, have a look at the flight controls. So I think it's just at speed. It's only the inboard elevons that move. Again, that's all computer controlled, which for the time. Don't forget, this is a product of the 737 original classics. You know, the 200s. These are aeroplanes of the same generation. And so, you know, I don't know what the fuel flow of the originals was, but it's certainly about double the fuel flow of the classics. So it's double that of the NGs. And if the 7.3 is burning about 2 point something in the cruise, okay, yes, we are burning 10 times as much, but it's only really 5 times as much potentially as the classics at the similar period. And, you know, we are doing 3 times the speed, so is that sort of a reasonable trade-off? I don't know. Anyway,
Auto throttle off.
auto throttle's going to come off at 50 miles. We are going to start the descent. I think I'm going to bring that back to 97. I'm going to check that. Acceleration. So that's 50, 93. Let's go 93. That sounds about right. I'm going to forget all my real world 152 speeds and everything. 83, and then is it maybe 87? What do you want to look that up? It'd be nice if that was in the, the descent procedure was in here, because it ain't. I don't know if I can modify that. But you can see we are maintaining height till we get to 350. So once we're overhead, at the next waypoint is where we want to be, back decimal 95. I tell you what, the guys that figured out, that this was the most efficient profile, just phenomenal. Complicated, but graceful aeroplane. So once we get to 350, seeing as 390 didn't work particularly well last time, we'll come back to 350, and then MAC hold, IAS hold for the descent. See how we get on with that. Actually, 93 it seems to be working quite well. Speed is coming back. Not horrifically quickly, but that seems to be decelerating at a pretty steady rate. The big difference, isn't it? 370 indicated, 980 over the ground. There's not a lot of air up here. I'm sure I saw somewhere that they were talking about the pressurization. I'm pretty sure the cabin out is that saying, I think 2, 3, 4, 5,000 feet. Yeah, 5,000 feet cabin out at 60,000 feet. I mean, that's phenomenal. There we go. Pitch down. Down you go. And we've started our descent 2002, which actually is not far off. So it's taken 50 miles to decel. To 350, and then about 3,000 feet a minute. So it's going to take us 10 minutes to get down, and I think we keep the power on until we get into the 40s, but we are going to be, although the waypoint I've picked is 70 odd miles off the coast, so I figured that even if we were high and fast, we want to be about 30 miles, maybe 30, 40 miles away from Paz, which is not on the coast, so that we are not, so that we're a degree away, just maybe like a third along that. So we've got about 20 miles to play with, just so that we're 35 miles off the coast, or greater, so we don't boom the coast, which, let's see how we get on. Because we started at minus 50, so I'm just writing all this down. We did 93%. And pretty much overhead, COFRE got to 350. you see we're still decelerating at a relatively steady rate. Of course we could decel a lot quicker, but like I say, I'm not sure that's that efficient. We need to be efficient. We've still got 26 tons of fuel. Just doesn't feel like it, does it? The altimeter's unwinding pretty quick. I mean, 3,000 feet a minute in the 7.3 is a pretty rapid descent. And in the 7.3 we wouldn't be slowing down. Because of course we are maintaining a constant indicated, but constantly bringing the speed back. There we go, so we are coming down actually pretty quick now. So I think at 45 I'll bring it back to 89. Only got 3 minutes. To waypoint 8, which is NUBEL. Thing I probably haven't done is flick those back to cruise. Don't know if you switch it back on the approach. Down to 89, look at the rate of descent. So 4,000 feet a minute, 3 minutes. You know what? That might work out pretty good. Might work out at 300, bang on NUBEL. 71 miles to go. Okay, I probably could have done it a little bit later, but it's a good descent. Cool. Does seem to work. All right, maybe I need to get 89. Let me be a bit more precise, shall we? Might intervene with some vertical speed as we get a bit lower. Don't forget to out acquire. Look, I forgot to do that already. It would do that automatically because it's not that difficult, is it? And here we are, still breaking the speed of sound, but about to drop out. Get the auto throttle back on. Back hold at 0.95. I hate to say, guys, I think I'm kind of getting the hang of this. Right, maybe not. Look at the Mac meter twitching away. Oh, we're not out of trim. It seems to have sorted itself out with cushioning the descent a little there. So I'm going to pop the anti-ice on just in case. Yeah, look, dropping out of warp speed. Sounds like a thunderstorm, and we've got overhead. Waypoint 8. 10. Pretty much. There's a bit of weather out there. I think we avoided that. Ish. And here we are dropping out of speed. On the throttles. Bingo, there we go, look. Now we are subsonic. Welcome to... Oh, hello. Go vertical speed, 1000 offshore, and Mach hold. Right, 9.5, let's get Mach hold on there. Speed seems a little bit off. $221, what are we picking up? The SKVOR 1159. That's our destination. So we haven't quite got to where we need to be. But we're speed. Got 06 to go to the Poza Rica EOR, which is just on the coast. Should just be 71 from NUBEL. No, sorry guys, I missed that. There's a little bit of the airway in between. 17 plus 71, so yes, we could have potentially left it a little bit later. 0.95, bit of cloud surfing. Outhold, and it's 300 at 13, 100. Go. So, okay, probably not the most efficient descent. We could have done it a bit later, but hey, we got here. We're back in the airways. Oh, I probably got the distances wrong. There's a 37-mile leg, then a 71, and they're all 17. Happens when you rush your flight planning. So, actually, a few miles from Copos, which is on Upper Tango 3-1, would have actually worked out for us. It's only 10 minutes though. As you can see there's the coast. Copos is here. So out here somewhere would have been good. Oh no, there's Copos. So, everything on. Hey, whatever. Not bad for a noob. So, still nobody online. You wouldn't get this thing in the air. Hey Entity, you saw me, I barely got it in the air. Originally when I was flying it, back in the early flights, it lifted off and then it maintained pitch quite happily. So especially if you set the elevons right, it would be just like Zebo. Once you got the pitch trim right, you'd lift off, get it to the air, get the gear up, you could let go and it would manage the pitch. Now it seems a bit sluggish, a bit twitchy, which is why I'm using the automation a bit more, because it's just seems to be so much more of a handful. I've checked experimental flight mode. I don't think there's a lot I can do about the controls. I've done a few settings, key bindings, which I should probably print off or at least write down. So I think I've still got quite a lot of tweaking to do. I want to get it back to how it was before. Certainly it feels wallowy on the approach. I don't know if it's the loading or I don't know. Or maybe the flight model has been tweaked for 11.5 and maybe it just needs a bit more tweaking. But wait, certainly if it's on sale, get it. It's a real challenge, especially having to do all the radio nav. I know I keep bringing the map up only to show where we are really, because I've got the en route chart and I've got the approach charts, etc. And you've just got to get your head back into them. Just makes you realise how much easier it is in the 7.3. But like I said, the original 7.3 was pretty much the same as this. So creatures of the same ilk. I think this airplane had twice as much testing as everything else. Did it come into service 75 finally? But you know, conceived in the late 50s and the 60s. We started building them just like the 7.3. So here we are burning 12 tons, 12.4 tons of fuel an hour, doing Mach decimal 9.5. What would the 7.3 have done? Maybe about a third of that, 4 tons an hour. Be a bit more. I know it's high, maybe it's 5. So comparatively, you know, this thing we are really inefficient at this point. We are doing 12 instead of, 12.4. What are we doing in the cruise? About another 4 tons on top. It's 4.4 in the cruise, isn't it? So 18 versus 12, there is a big penalty because we are doing a third of the speed and we're only saving 25%. No, that can't be right. Let's be a bit more. Anyway, I'll shut up. Shows my gaps in my knowledge. Anyway, you can start to see the coast coming up now. And I think it's only zoom level 14. Looks a bit like Flight Sim 2020, which probably need to do a little bit more flying because I've cancelled my subscription for Game Pass because I was sort of happy to pay £4 for a couple of months and have a play, but now it's £8 a month. Yep. That's a fair whack of cash if I'm not really. Yep. But like, fair play to the guys that are doing the Zebo equivalent, the A380, tweaking the default one. Well done them. Those stutters are annoying when the frame rate's so high. It's amazing how noticeable it is. CPU's still working hard. Thanks very much, Vulkan, for bringing the GPU down. But I mean, I don't know if you guys can see them, but I can definitely see them. Slight stutters. Go. So 1159. PTJ VOR now, we're not going towards that, we are just using that for a couple of miles to do an intercept, and then we are turning pretty much straight away to the San Mateo. Want to be overhead Mexico, which is in 146 miles. We need time as well. So we're not going to Mexico quite. See how far Paz from Mexico is. Well, quite a long way because we're going to Paz, APN, yeah, and so obviously Paz is on the coast. We've then got a 79-mile leg and then a 40-mile leg to Mexico VOR. Let's go city. Oh, no, just Mexico VOR. But of course we've got to do it all subsonic, and we want to be at the Mexico VOR at 240, 250 knots. Maybe a bit slow. Do it at 290, which I've got primed. So yeah, lots of foreplay. It's just a, like I said, a shame it just doesn't feel right hand flying. I don't think that's me being an idiot. No, 133 miles, so that is the Mexico VOR, but we're not going direct to it. You can see that there's definitely some high terrain over here. No terrain radar to help us out. Yeah, definitely some terrain over there. It's like a very quick version of every other airliner. To get like the 7.3 is going to be over here, so we'd even be overtaking at this point. Quite sure how much by, probably work it out. What we'd be doing over the ground, like 400 something in the 7.3. So that was us overhead at 2.3. Overhead Paz. Not bad intercept, we are going to be following that airway. I think that's quite good, well done Colimata for sorting that out. It's done it quite well. To APN 222. Ish. Miles to go, like I said, 70 odd mile leg, 79 and then 40 or 0. So we have got 6,000 feet to lose. So at 2,000 feet, 3 miles away, we want to be descending. Think about slowing down a bit as well. So all these little tools, you can even get this on light aircraft when you've got a DME receiver. Get distance and time to run, which are really useful when trying to work out descent rates rather than trying to figure it out over distance. Much better when you've got a bit of time display. And it's going to get busy. Miami Center is online. It's right in the middle of the city, Mexico City Airport. Guess they don't care too much about noise. It's about halfway between the two coasts, so you know we are covering some distance. Look at that terrain. I don't think that looks too bad. Minus 41 static outside, 58 on the nose. That's quite high, isn't it? So all hold is on. Go down to 2.4. The green banana to help us out, which is probably one of the most useful tools. Still burning 12 tons of fuel an hour. So I'm just going to keep that up, so apologies. It does spoil the view a bit. Is that any better? Could try and pop it out. That's not it. That's how I do it. Oh, there we go, look. Okay. Done anything? Tell me if you guys don't like that. Just about to see the chat, it's covering it up a little bit. It is quite handy that you can undock it. Oh, really stuttery though. But I certainly couldn't be without it. Oh wow, okay, that's bringing the frame rate down. There's some real spikes there. But no. Higher at the cruise and we were getting more, whatever. Anyway, 3 minutes to run until we're going to waypoint 1, the APN VOR. It's the APN VOR. Japan. Then 40 miles. And we need to get 240, so I think 6,000 feet. About 3 minutes. And we need to decelerate. So maybe we can start down, start slowing as we get overhead. Oh, look at those stutters. So hopefully somebody will figure out why COFRE is doing that. That helped a little bit by not having it as an undocked window. Oh, I think it has. Sorry guys, it's still a bit stuttery, but it's a lot better than it was. I think I need the whole panel, so I'm just going to have to put up with having that on screen. Even though it's saying that the nav performance is really bad, isn't. Oh, okay, maybe it, well, okay overhead. Yeah, it's just a shame. It's just nice to be able to see outside as well. So, no, we weren't following Victor 818, were we? Same. Maybe the nav performance is off. I need to learn how to do a DMA update without breaking it. Anyway, 3-1 or 3-2 overhead. 3-2. There we go. So, I think. Speed hold. It's a bit quick actually. Never mind, we'll be a little bit inefficient. And then once we're at 290, I think we'll go for vertical speed rather than speed hold descent. And we are going to have to respect these MSAs because we have got cloud. So we're going to be approaching from, this should be 252. So the MSA in that sector, 25 miles from the VOR, is 19.4. It's pretty high. Decimal 7.5, here we go back in 7.3 territory. Decimal 7.5 descent, eh? Feels so pedestrian. Outbound, we will be on 321. Tell you what, let's do it. No, it's going to work out better if I do it that way. I'll figure it out. As we're outbound, the VOR will be down to 18,000. 12,100 in that sector. And then we've got to worry because as we go outbound, we're outside the MSAs. As we go inbound, 115 to the San Mateo VOR, the MSA is 14.8, we'll be down to 12, so we have to make sure that we're within. If it's 18.1, interesting. The MEF for that sector is 18.1. It's just because it's not for that bit. Okay, I'll shut up. Focus on flying, so I think we need vertical speed out of choir. I'm a bit late there. A bit more, to be honest. 2.5. So. Okay, probably closer to 3. I have mapped that. 15 miles to go. Let's pop the anti-ice on. No. Keep it on just until we pop out of this. And we are pretty much overhead Mexico City. And once we are overhead, I think we're not going to go heading hold. Rad INS. Oh, have I got it wrong already? 48 miles to where? So let's go AP2 is Warlock on the other side.
Caution. Fuel status. 20 tons.
Alright, now I'm being dense. Why can I not Warlock on the other side? Okay.
Autopilot off.
Let's go heading hold. Sure, I've done that before. 3, 2, 1. Okay, no. Track heading, there we go. Already going wrong. So I'm going to set the next nav 8 up just for my, just so I can match it. 114. 5. Four. That's going to give us an intercept, and we are going to go down to 18. What's the transition? 195. Maybe we do need to maybe we do need to bring it back. Let's get the airplane trimmed. Full descent. I didn't hear the call there. 8 miles, we're looking for 23. So I might be able to ease off that. Let's go to something like 15. Let's see how we get on. Speed is coming back. Got the anti-ice on, so we don't have to worry about that. Out acquire. Hello Rick, welcome back. You're watching it go wrong steadily. But for the Warlock, all we had to do is switch autopilot sides. Clearly not. So I'll just fly it all on my side. Should be a lot of flicking and updating. Anyway, 23, and we want down to 18. Vertical speed, out acquire. Intercepting. Set for descent. Bit on the forward limit. As we get past 23, I think we can go down to 12. the Hedgehog. Very ladylike, graceful aeroplane. So far so good, Rick, but it is a handful, so apologies if I go quiet. It will be my brain not being able to cope. So, just getting on then. Still well above the MSAs, so it doesn't matter that we're off track. So we'll get set up, and we're looking for 244. Bit of a step over there. So the weather just cleared up. 23, we needed to be turning left, so heading hold. Actually, let's go track heading to the left. Tune 145. Really not doing well here, am I? Next is 112. 115 inbound. 80, we can go down to 12. So 17 miles from that VOR. Oh, I was enjoying being in the clouds. Oh. Okay, it's a bit FSX-y over here. MS 2002, we might hit a blip. That's pretty horrific. So 250 is feeling a little bit pitch happy. Let's get the weather. Oh, I'll tell you what, I am well behind the aeroplane. We want to be going left now. Oh no, hang on. Why have I got two very different indications there? So the fact that those two are... That was the reason I thought I'd gone past. Give me 164 outbound. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Update. Zero 25. Back in clouds, so we've still got anti-ice on, which is good. Got 12 miles to go and a few thousand feet to go. Bring it down a bit more rapidly. So 1091. Down to 97 and then 88 before intercepting. So 164 outbound. Be 12,000 overhead, that's what we wanted. It's more luck than judgment. Start the turn now because we're within 1 mile. Mexico traffic, Mexico City traffic, speedboat Concorde 613, outbound San Mateo VOR, inbound ILS runway 05 right. Well, that wasn't a bad intercept. Could have been better. Could have been worse. We are down to 7. Moderate the VS a bit. The lights on. So we're looking for 7.7 miles. It's going to come up pretty quick. Start bringing the speed back. The turbulence. Also, I'm petrified of it now. Heading hold here. We still need the DME. Right, 083 I think we want. Let's get the, oh no, I want the visor going down the other way. Did that during testing. Out of quiet, out hold, out hold, out hold. That's a level bust. Anyway, we can go down to 88. Concorde, I would like you to do that. So I think we're on an intercept. Really at 5 miles, yes we are. And I think we are therefore too high.
Gear coming down. Autopilot off.
What? Oh yeah, we're far too high. Should we see if we can get a recovery from this?
Rings. Autopilot off.
Okay, the speeds don't appear to be updating. Let's get the speed back. Oh, no. No indeed. Back round we go. Airplane climbing.
Gear coming up. Autopilot off.
Is the airplane climbing away? Not as much as I'd like. So the missed approach is straight ahead 053. To Santa Lucia. I think we'll just go back to San Mateo 1121.
Fuel trim to descent. Wrong fuel trim. Should I change it?
It should have been set to landing, shouldn't it? We want 97. Oh, 12,000 is the missed. Straight ahead for 9 miles. Go back to 121, and if we do that, should take us direct to the VOR. That makes you feel a lot lower than you are. The lack of resolution. Feeling it's going to be better. You were sadly mistaken, Rick. That was a terrible approach. It's doing so well. What's it look like out there? I mean, the visibility is pretty sketchy as well, isn't it? There's the airport. Barely see it. Nice if the lights are on. Oh, I've done it again. Got to do the outer choir. Another level bust. Got to get into that habit. Anyway, the airplane's tracking nicely round to back to the VOR. The terrain probably didn't help on the approaches. The resolution's so poor, it's really not giving much depth perception. So we're 10 miles out, 12,000. So we want to be 164 outbound. 053, one click on each is nice and easy. Go something like that as we get a bit closer. So 30-degree intercept, and we'll start down a good 1,000 feet a minute.
Fuel trim to landing.
So it's still on. Got 7 miles. I'll be intercepting at 5.5 and needing to descend. Though it is rather rapid. Not choir, yes. Go for lock. So DME's on the right. We're looking for 7-7 to start the turn. Once we get established again, intercept outbound. We're heading hold. Thanks, Rick. See you there. I hope you enjoy it tomorrow. Good luck with your test. We are far too high, so let's get this down. And we want one, click, click, click.
Gear coming down. Gear down.
So we should be able to.
Brains.
There's the glide coming in. Here's the localizer this time. Let's go glide first. Don't like doing. Lighting was quite nice there. Okay, we have not captured, so we'll lock vertical speed. Straight through, what a mess. $3 and look at this, terrible. It is a pretty tight approach. Nope.
500 feet.
Struggling.
100 feet.
Autopilot off.
300
We're just gonna have to go for the other one.
200.
Auto throttle off.
That was pretty horrific.
100 feet. 50 feet. 40. 20. Contact.
Down we come.
Reverser deployed.
Wrong runway. That was awful. But I didn't want to go missed again. That was
Reverser
a pretty
retracted.
difficult approach to set up for because it only brought you to a 5-mile final. Anyway, we're here. Like I say, not a tutorial. That was almost as bad as yesterday. Anyway, done nothing on the radio. Oh, that's interesting. I thought this was a high-speed exit. Well, we got down at least. What was our rate of landing? Vertical speed 3 feet a minute. Oh, you were right about the butter, Rick. Not sure if it was legit though. It's gonna be the worst bit of flying I've done for a while. So, where did we come off? Yeah, we've got to go all the way down to the end for Terminal 1. What about if we pop the outers off? As we drive through the fuel truck. Ironic. Thanks, mate. Suppose any of these would do, wouldn't they? Bravo Terminal 1, here we are. Bravo indeed. Bravo for the landing. Let's pick one of these that looks suitable, shall we? "22" looks nice. The throttles are idle. Have to dig into the system, see if there was any reason why you couldn't turn the that will probably do us. There we go. On to stand. To Mexico City, ladies and gents. We almost didn't make it. That was pretty horrific. But we are well and truly here now. Nobody in the vicinity. I don't know why. Put the visor and everything up. Don't know if it would stop it real. So let's get. I'll tell you what. Before I do the shutdown and everything, let me have a look at the landing. So we're on stand at 21.3. So it's backwards a bit, shall we? Oh yeah, that was bad. I think if it had captured a bit better, it'd been alright, but there we are. Worrying about automation. Were we a bit low? Bit of a float. It says -3, but I'm not sure. That was real time. It wasn't terrible, apart from landing on the wrong runway in the whole approach, but managed to rescue something out of it. Anyway guys, as always, thanks for watching. Now the replay mode. There we are, back on stand. With engines running. I'm not going to bother with shutting down and everything, because that's a little bit dull. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to get better at this, I promise. And we'll all get there soon. Take care for now, and see you again later.